Boys and girls, Alex here. Many of you have probably noticed this little beast in a lot of my videos and a lot of the pictures I take for Craftisian. It's basically what I call my mini workbench that I designed for use up in the office on these cold winter days when I've just got to do a quick dirty glue up on, say, puzzles or gadget boxes that don't need any traditional woodworking equipment other than maybe a flush cut saw, a few clamps, hold downs and CA. So this little unit was designed to sit on the end of my workbench to keep it clean. It's designed on the MFT principle of the 20mm dog holes laid out in that typical, I think it's 96mm grid. Don't ask me why 96, ask Mr. Festool. I've got a T-track down it. I've got some Rockler bench cookies, probably more on that later. And that I've got this little piece of timber down the centre there, which is designed to support long screws in this T-track, so I can then really crank up the pressure without worrying about it tearing out. I've gone down to Officeworks, which is our local stationery supplier, bought some, hang on, I'll go and quickly run and get it. Here we go, bought some of these clipboards, cut the clips off. Actually, when I say cut the clips off, ground down the back stud there, taken the clip and mounted on there, which now is ideal because, as I said, this is primarily for glue up to hold grease. Look, I'm not going to try and put it on, but hold grease-proof paper on it and not have it slip off. And as many of you will probably know, that if you have paper, greaseproof or otherwise on your workbench, it's going to bloody move. The beauty of this little thing is that in the confined space, I can use dogs. I've got a heap of these super dogs, Puff super dogs, which are brilliant because once you tighten it up, it holds. Again, look, I'm not going to spruik it here. Google it, Puff Super Dogs. It also holds, here we go, oh, actually it's in my top pocket. These normal dogs that most of you are aware of. But the beauty of this little mini bench is that unlike your big MFD benches, you can flip this over and take one of these knobs or any other type of a hardware, put it on, secure it, and now, whoops, actually that's not going to work because I can't put it down, but you get what I'm getting at. You can get under it, secure that, and that ain't going to move. Bad demo. Lucky I didn't rehearse this before, otherwise I would have made a bigger fool of myself for doing what didn't work in rehearsal, I mean. Okay, what else have we got? Oh yeah, I do use these, they're the TSO lock nuts quite extensively, usually on other jigs with a base plate to match the holes, whereby I can now attach these to the bench. Again, oh, here we go. Sorry, my dodgy arm is still dodgy. So we'll move that. The other thing which I've only just started using are these, is this my Festool, whatever you call it, clamp. I'm quite impressed with that. But when it came to the T-track, and hang on for a sec, I will stop the video while I grab my clamp. Okay, I got it. I used to use, the T-track is basically designed to use these rockler type of clamps, whereby I can put it in. Words for the wary too. I found out I couldn't put it in on the other side because of these clamps, but fortunately the track was short enough that this gap was here, so I could still put the clamp in. But yeah, that was the primary purpose. And look, it's actually it's not adjusted for this. No, I'm not going to muck around with it, but that was the primary purpose. If I ever wanted to put one of these clamps somewhere else, what I'd do is I'd replace this mechanism with this, which is a 20mm dowel, which would plug down in the hole. Then what you'd have to do is flip it over, and remember I showed you can get to it. You'd put this washer on, screw the hex nut on, and it'll hold it in place. Well, lo and behold, young Mr. TSO came to the rescue by incorporating their, their lock dogs with a basic clamp. So you can now basically put this, hang on, this is not quite as user friendly as the other one. It's good, but it's not quite as user friendly. So you can actually put it in any other dog hole. So this T-track becomes sort of redundant. And in the new one I'm going to make, and this is what this video is about, how I made this thing, I doubt if I'll put in a T-track. However, I'll reserve the right to put one in at a later stage if I need to. So I'll make sure there is room or allowances so that I can put in the track, as in whatever I might do to it, that the track can go in if need be. But the beauty of this is you slip it in, and then I grab my, where is it? This is what I use. They recommend a hex key. I use my drill. It's got a 5mm hex bolt in it. There you are, done up. You'll notice because of the way it works, it's held together, and I can now put that there, or I can then take it out and put it somewhere else. Now, the reason for this video came about because when I bought these clamps, I buy them in twos. I bought 2 of these buggers. The only problem was that their mechanism, and it's not the supplier of the clamps as much as actually Bessie, they had a fault in this auto adjust mechanism, because when I put it even on the loosest setting, I had to apply so much pressure that it actually went and distorted. Again, I'm not sure how well the camera's going to pick it up. Distorted the base of this. I was determined to make the bloody clamp work, but it wouldn't. Anyway, I got back to TSO, and without hesitation they sent me a replacement. So and again, there's another video that explains these more so, but that's the reason why I have to make a new one. One other thing I will say with regards to this, the beauty of this bench is that even though if you might have MFT style benches elsewhere, sometimes you just might want a small working surface. And what I've done is I've drilled holes around there. I actually had holes drilled there and there, but when I put these clips on, well, it hid the holes, so I'll probably have to drill on the next bench there. But the beauty of this is you can actually use these, well, this is Rockler, this is Carbatech, which are the local Rockler suppliers. They probably plagiarised it, or they branded it their own. You can use these to hold these benches, this little mini bench to another tabletop, bench top, you name it. Well, I was going to say you name it, but no. The problem with my design is that my cookies are too far inset, so if I put a lot of pressure, it's going to lift this up. So, naturally, in my new design, I've got to bear in mind that those cookies have to move right out to the edge. Now, again, when it comes to cookies, I like these Rockler cookies or any other type of cookies you can get, simply because the padding is really very good non-slip. Once you put it down, it's hard to get a slip there. And again, talking about non-slip, maybe in the new design, I might actually put a rubber, one of those Festool, what do you call it? They actually supply them for their track saws. A Festool rubber strip down the middle to prevent or to hold on to stuff from moving. I don't know yet. But again, that's something that can be fitted quite easily afterwards. So the next thing to do is really, because I'm going to replace this track with dogs, I haven't got as I said, it works on a 96mm option, so I really, naturally that hole there would go on the edge, which is ridiculous. If I centered it, I'd probably only have about 5mm by the looks of it, because that's on 400. They're 20mm, so 300, that's 385. So we're looking at 5mm on the edge, which I don't think is enough meat. So I might have to either look for a bit of offcut, because I don't particularly want to laminate a new board. Look for a bit of offcut, and if I haven't got that, I might just laminate two more pieces to give it together to give me what I need. And I probably need, let's do my maths, something like 320, or I might even get away with 15. I'd probably have to go for 310, 315, 320, around that mark to give me the appropriate distance there. No, look, I'd probably go, definitely 3, alright, anyway, 320, that's two 160s, and I don't think they have 160s, they have 140, so 240, oh shit. Anyway, I've got to do me maths. I'm hopeful that I might have a piece hanging around. If I haven't, I'll make up the board. Once I have the board, I'll cut it out to size. I doubt if I'm going to make it any longer. And again, the width is, because for the length, I've got sufficient dog hole spacings. With the length, all I've got to do, actually the width I should say, is make sure that I've got as much meat on this side when I put a dog hole there as that. Anyway, once I get the board, hopefully the next part of the video will show you how I lay out using the path guide system Mark II. Now look, Peter Path does a brilliant job on it, but he's selling the product. He makes profit out of that. I'm telling you why I think it's a good product, which is a subtle better way of looking at it. So there's no money in it for me, unless you want to send me a few shekels in the mail. Alright, I'm going to finish that here. I'm going to search for a piece of wood and then get back to it.